Congratulations, young man. You have successfully found your woman. You have passed the tryouts. Now that you have passed tryouts and moved up, you can finally pay for everything in her life, do everything she wants.
It's gotten so bad that some women are even believing this nonsense.
Now that society is so ingrained to dating someone based on money or social status that, God forbid, I gave the man that I was actually attracted to. Sorry.
Are those your friends?
This title, men seem to make life for women worse. Single U.S. women share the woes of dating in 2025.
I need someone to tell me if I'm being selfish and stuck up or if I'm actually valid for what I'm thinking, so please give me some advice. My boyfriend and I are entertaining the thought of moving in together in April. It's something that we both really want.
No, it's not selfish at all. It's happened again, y'all. It's happened again. The thing that women say, the thing that I know to be true about women and the things that I hear women commonly say, come to find out there's like a study, there's an article, there's some, you know what I'm saying? There's something there, right? So it's like this cycle of women say a thing, men reject it, and then it's come to find out the women are like 100% right, or they were telling the truth, because a lot of times it's what women are saying like individually, right? It's not like if you ask a woman what does she want in a man, what is she looking for in a man, each woman will say their thing, give their preferences or whatever, right? When that happens, typically for me, I start to notice a pattern. I notice a trend. I'm like, oh, okay, she said that, and then there might be some varying degree here and there, but the core things are the core things. Oh, they want a man that's loyal. They want a man with integrity. They want the man that's intentional. They want a man that's kind. They want a man that is economically viable, blah, 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 right? Like these are the things that I'm hearing women say in so many ways, even if they don't say it verbatim like that, but that's inference. That's the inference in all these scenarios. And then I hear like woman after woman after woman say this thing. I hear my wife tell me the thing, so on and so forth. And then I talk to men, and men are like, women just want a man with money. Women do. I'm like, nah, I don't think that's not what they're saying they want. They're saying they want this thing, but men refuse to listen. Instead, men would rather believe this type of nonsense.
Congratulations, young man. You have successfully found your woman. You have passed the tryouts. Now that you have passed tryouts and moved up, you can finally pay for everything in her life, do everything she wants, allow her to catch attitudes. But if you catch an attitude, then you're in the wrong. You're not supposed to talk back, and you're supposed to be the provider, even though all she does is cook and clean, which you already do for yourself, by the way. And if you don't do any of those things, then she's just gonna go fuck another nigga. Congratulations.
That's what men are acting like relationships are like for them. Like men aren't the ones who, like, men don't complain more than women. Like men don't catch attitudes more than women. All she does is cook and clean. Then why are you fucking with her? And cooking and cleaning is a lot, but all she does is cook and clean. Crazy. Men would rather believe this and listen to this nonsense, right? It's gotten so bad that some women are even believing this nonsense that like women are, solely on like looking at a man for his finances or his status, or you know what I'm saying? Like those are the things that women are mainly interested in. Not to say they're not interested in it at all, but the only thing or the main thing, they're like shaming women if they like don't meet a man that has, like, where is that happening at? Where is this happening?
Now that society is so ingrained to dating someone based on money or social status that, God forbid, I gave the man that I was actually attracted to. Sorry. Oh my God, sorry. Like, but he works at Enterprise. My bad. Like, goddamn. You know what I mean? I thought that's how it worked. I thought dating worked like that. I thought it was like, oh, I'm physically attracted to this person and I like this person's personality. We actually connect. I want to give him, so I gave him. But now it's like, ha ha, you gave someone that you like and you didn't get no money out of it. Ha ha.
Are those your friends, or are you saying like women are doing that? And like that's not what women, I know men aren't saying that, because men are saying that women only want them for their money. So if you're saying that, yeah, no, it's cool to like sleep with a man just because you like him. Men are applauding that. So I know men are saying that. So you're trying to imply that women are saying this? Where? Is it, again, is this your friend group or are women online? Because that's not what's happening, not even online. Women don't give a fuck. Like, what? That's crazy. It's delusional. That's not what's going on. Where are you getting this from? That's your algorithm. Like men are the ones who shame women on either. Men shame women. Look, men shame women who sleep with men for money. Men shame women who sleep with men for money. Men also shame women who sleep with brokies and sleep with working class men because they're still going to call them hoes no matter what. So whether you sleep with a broke man or a wealthy man, you're still a hoe to that man, right? So men are the ones that actually do that. Where are women shaming you for sleeping with a man that you liked? Where am I? Where is this happening? Where is this happening? I promise you, this is like, we're just making this stuff up. But I feel like she might be a chronically online person. And, like I fear this might be her algorithm because this isn't common. Like that, most women don't give a fuck about that. This is more when I think of, the way things are, I align more with this. Like I think that this is what's going on, not that other shit. I think this is what's happening, what she describes.
I think red pill men are wrong about pretty much everything. You guys are drinking 20 eggs in the morning instead of drinking a protein shake like a regular person would. Your shits definitely stink. And I also think you guys are wrong about what women look for in men, and you guys are coaching these men on what women want and all of this stuff, while at the same time knowing that you have to lie to them because no woman would ever be attracted to a man who has your belief system. It took 4 guys and a microphone to convince you that immigrants, poor people, and women are the problem, and to defend tooth and nail billionaires. Like you guys, nose in the hole, are in love with billionaires. You guys will defend them, fight for Elon Musk to the death, but you will at the same time blame poor people who were born in.
They also blame black people. Let's not forget. That's the biggest group they blame are black people.
To extremely unfortunate circumstances for the way that their lives are. You guys will blame all of society's problems on people who are barely scraping by, who can barely afford to survive, before you hold billionaires accountable. Like, do you understand how weak-minded, what a beta male you have to be to fall for that? Like, I don't think you guys get that. Being a red pill man is one of the most embarrassing things you could ever fucking become because it just proves how weak-minded you are. Truly, truly embarrassing. Very embarrassing for you.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. That's exactly it. That's what I know of men. That's the shit that I'm seeing. You right? Like she said, if 4 men with a microphone to convince you that all women want is money. All women want is money. That's all the women are looking for is money, a man with money, a provider man, da 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 da. But that's not the reality. That's not what women are actually asking for. Shout out to Berg for doing this great breakdown on this article here in The Guardian. I thought this was awesome. So we're going to break it down. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get into it. But she did a phenomenal job. So shout out to Bird, man.
I was alerted to this article out of The Guardian, and this is perfect for our community. So this is titled, Men Seem to Make Life for Women Worse. Single U.S. Women Share the Woes of Dating in 2025.
Men make women's lives worse, you don't say. Yeah, we do. I just got off a live talking about how worse men make women's lives, and the men don't want to hear it.
Y'all know how dudes keep regurgitating that same line that women are just looking for 6 figures, 6 feet tall, and that third 6 always gets me. Is it 6 pairs of shoes? Totally sure it's 6 pairs of shoes.
The funniest thing about, first of all, 6 pairs of shoes is hilarious, but the funniest thing about the 666 shit is the men tell on themselves every single time. So it is 6 feet, 6 figures, and a 6-pack. But men go 6 feet, 6 feet, 6 figures, and 6 inches. And I'm like, oh, so you're not 6 inches. I swear to God, it's the funniest shit ever.
Anyway, this article says, here's why some women feel like there's little hope in the current dating pool of men if they're still in the market for one. And here's a spoiler. It has nothing to do with 666. Women are not saying that. Let's look at what women are looking for. By 2030, 45% of prime working age women in the United States, defined as women aged between 25 and 44, will be single according to Census Bureau historical data and Morgan Stanley forecast, the largest share in history. Hundreds of those women from across the United States shared with The Guardian why they were single and how they felt about it and what they would be looking for in a future partner if they were still in the market for one. I hated being single after my last relationship broke down, said Sarah, 43, a sales representative from California. I miss having someone to cook for, to share things with, but now my motto is, my alone feels so good. I'll only have you if your presence is sweeter than my solitude.
Essentially, that is the whole so essentially men are competing with a woman's peace, which a lot of people have been saying. I've been hearing women say that for a good amount of time now, right? Men are competing with the peace that women have established for themselves. Men want women to be their peace. Those two things are in direct competition. They conflict with one another because to be a woman's peace, to be a man's peace, a woman has to disturb hers. That's the problem. Because to be a man's peace, a woman essentially has to allow the man to mistreat her, which will disturb her peace. And I don't care what that's not what it means. That is what it means. Because every time y'all describe what peace looks like to y'all, what it looks like is a woman being a fucking slave, a woman knowing her place, shutting up when you want her to, being seen and not heard like a child. Like, that's essentially a man's peace. Don't challenge him. Don't call him out on his stuff. Don't nag. Don't start shit, whatever. That's being a man's peace. But all those things are the things that disturbs her peace. So essentially, you're telling her not to speak up for herself, not advocate for herself, and just take it, which would lead to a extremely unpeaceful scenario. That's not peaceful for a woman. And it ain't really that hard to understand if you were paying attention or if you were being honest, but that is what's going on every single fucking day. Every single day in relationships and on the dating market.
That, yes, a lot of women are saying that. It says many of the responses were surprisingly similar. The most frequently listed qualities women said they were looking for in a partner were kindness and emotional intelligence, mental and physical health, shared values, ambition and being hardworking, financial stability, masculinity and maturity, and a willingness to commit to an equal monogamous relationship, as well as, in many cases, having a family. One of the phrases respondents used the most was that they were looking for a partner capable of adding to or enhancing their life, as in someone who was entirely self-sufficient and capable of adding romance, children, or a unique intellectual connection to their lives. A large number of women complained about past suitors who had been lacking effort or unable to keep up.
Again, this is stuff that we hear women talking about all the time. They're not asking you to be wealthy. They're not asking you to pay all their bills. They're saying be economically viable. And for an example, she likes to travel. She has the budget to travel. Do you have the budget to travel? No? Don't be in a relationship with her. See what I'm saying? She likes to live in high rises downtown, whatever city you're in, Atlanta, Detroit, Dallas. I don't give a fuck. Can you afford to do that? You can't. Don't date her. Don't date her. Can you keep up with her emotionally? Can you keep up with her intellectually as well? You don't have you have the reading comprehension, you have the literacy of a ninth grader. She has college level literacy. Maybe y'all aren't compatible. Maybe it won't work out. Right?
Babette, 32, a beautician from New York City, echoed hundreds of other respondents across ages and socioeconomic backgrounds. I would love to have a partner, but it seems like the men are super low effort, she said. not responding on dating apps, not effectively communicating, not wanting to plan dates. A lot of men seem to actively make life for women worse instead of better. No matter what women say they look for in a relationship, it is completely ignored by men.
Women are going out saying we don't like coffee dates. Men are saying, what's wrong with a coffee date? Like, who cares? Instead of trying to convince women to like coffee dates, how about you just go, okay, no coffee dates, because they don't want them. Instead, you guys are doing what? Making life worse for women. Right? Also, on the dating app stuff, men are playing a numbers game. So they just hit up a bunch of women with a bunch of weird ass stuff. And out of the 100 women that they hit up, one of them bites or 3 of them bites, depending on their the attractiveness of the man, maybe. 1 bites, 3 bites, 5 bites, 10 bites, whatever. And that's all they care about. They don't care about making a connection. They don't care about being, finding somebody to be with. They just want to sleep with as many women as possible. That's why the conversations are so weird on dating apps for most women.
Kelly, 43, from Georgia, joined the substantial number of respondents who felt that social media narratives had made dating toxic and pitted men against women. I wish I could have met my person before the stupid gender wars, social media, and red pill rhetoric that has ruined people's view of dating and marriage.
No, I was there, ma'am. I met my wife before that time. The men were already terrible. We were already bad 20 years ago. Kelly is 43. Me and Kelly are the same age. The reason why you didn't meet your man is because the men were terrible. You're you know what I'm saying? You're 43. The reason why you don't already have a husband is because the men were terrible back then and they're terrible now. They're just doing it publicly.
Scores of women said that nobody available that they had encountered met what they considered basic requirements. I'm looking for a man who has goals and ambition, is intelligent, trustworthy, a provider, supportive, considerate, kind, assertive, masculine, honest, faithful, intentional, has a healthy self-esteem and a sense of humor, loves to go out, and likes fitness. These basic qualities are hard to find these days. Although many women said they found being single lonely, they also typically said that they would not consider anyone who did not tick off these or similar boxes. Katie, 37, a biotechnology product manager from Wisconsin, said she had felt unable to look for a new partner since her last breakup in 2021. A partner should ideally have a robust social life, a focus on holistic health, compassionate and forthright communication skills, and functional independence. I like that she put in functional independence because many of these dudes can't do basic adult stuff. I'm happy to compromise on things. The bar is extremely low and yet is rarely cleared. Hundreds reported struggling to find a partner with shared values, political views, and interests, and a similar education level, with many pointing to a deepening mismatch between men and women in these areas.
Again, these are things that if you come to my space and if you listen to women in general, you will hear these conversations being had. So you mean to tell me that all these women are nuts? I'm sure some of you dummies, yeah, they are. No. You mean to tell me that Kelly from New Hampshire and Danielle from Rhode Island and Jessica from Palm Springs never met each other, but somehow, some way, they're having the same or similar experiences with men in the dating market? No, it's because it's actually it's not it's common. The men are we are these people. We are the people that are happy that they are describing. That's the problem. That's the problem. They're not, the women aren't crazy. They're not lying on us. You know what I'm saying? They're not lying on us. They are telling the truth about us. We're just not willing to listen or change.
Danielle, 29, a public relations professional from Tennessee, said her future partner would need to be kind, thoughtful, emotionally available, considerate, reliable, and responsible, but also college educated.
No chance.
I'm very disheartened by the shortage of quality men. Men my age are less educated, their social skills are abysmal, and now they're running into the arms of Trump and incel forums.
We talk about how the politics are separating men and women, and another example of that.
Although almost all women who were looking for a partner did not cite standout levels of professional or financial success as a priority, financial self sufficiency was crucial for many. Various women stressed that they were searching for a socioeconomic equal.
So wouldn't you know it that the women aren't actually looking for this like crazy version of a man? They're looking for a man that's economically viable, that's kind, that's generous. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for men that are they're equal, right? But the problem is most men aren't equal to women. That's where that whole saying of the best man isn't even as good as the average woman or is just the average woman. That's where that saying comes from. Because most men are not equal. The average man isn't equal to the average woman. They cannot keep up with the average woman educationally, socially, none of that stuff. Politically, we're just on two different spectrums, right? Two different ends of the spectrum. Um, and most men don't know the first thing about equality and equity in a relationship. And that is what women are asking for ultimately. That's really the number one thing that they're asking for. They don't get it. They don't get it, right? This is an example of how men don't actually understand equity or equality in a relationship.
I need someone to tell me if I'm being selfish and stuck up or if I'm actually valid for what I'm thinking, so please give me some advice. My boyfriend and I are entertaining the thought of moving in together in April. It's something that we both really want. And we've had a couple conversations about what that will look like, and we had another conversation tonight about financials because that's like a very big aspect of this. And we've had one other conversations about this, and basically we were like, oh, maybe 50-50, and we kind of bounced that idea around. But that idea never really sat right with me because I make way less than him, which is like totally fine. Like, I'm happy that he's getting his bag, but if we did 50-50, I'd be put way more out than he would. But then I think he still expects everything else to be 50-50, and like for me and my paycheck, that just won't work. So tonight I was like, hey, like, what do you think if we, or like when we moved together, if we did things by income and kind of split things up that way? Not that it would be like a major difference. And so when I brought up the idea to him, he was like, I thought we were doing 50-50. And I was like, I don't think I was super set on that, but like, I mean, it would make sense. It's like the first idea, like, yeah, when you move in together, everything you split evenly. But I think splitting things evenly can look different and not necessarily a straight line down the middle. Everything is 50-50. And so I kind of explained to him, like, my income is lower than yours. And, like, me moving in with you is not, like, a money ploy. It's not to, like, oh, I want to be financially dependent on you. I'm moving in with you. Like, you get to pay for everything. Like, that's not where I'm headed. I've been able to support myself on my own in my own apartment for, like, a year and a half now. And I've been very happy and it's worked out very well. And I've been okay. But, like, moving in with someone, I would hope that rent would be cheaper and not only, like, $200 cheaper. I'm a server, and while you can get your bag, it's like hard in this economy because everything's so fucking expensive. Anyways, and he like kind of gave me a weird look, and he was like, I would rather we just do 50-50. And I was like, I hope you understand that 50-50 isn't actually 50-50 like for us. Like, it still puts you at a much higher advantage. Like, I don't want this to sound selfish. And he was like, well, why do you want to move in with me? And like, is it like a money thing? And I was like, no, it's not a money thing. Like, I love you. Like, I want to see our compatibility. I want to grow with you. Like,
This dude is not. He is red pilled. I'm sorry. He is red pilled. That he's questioning her about this and all of this stuff. This is very, very lot of red flags.
I just feel like it would be fair to make things more like of an even playing field if we did it this way. And he was like, I'll think about it, but like, I don't really know if I like that. And while I can totally understand, like, that is totally valid, like, to want to do things 50-50, but our incomes are different, so
it's not totally valid.
Really 50-50. Like, one of us is put way more out than the other. And in my head, I'm not comfortable with that. And I expressed that to him. And I also told him that his feelings were totally valid and, like, not wanting to do that. However, I told him that makes me, like, to me, it doesn't show a huge sense of, like, care, respect, and compromise. I know he cares about me. I know he loves me. And
what makes you think he cares about you and loves you if he's not willing, if he refuses to understand this, and if he's questioning your motives? What makes you think he actually cares about you and loves you? Because this isn't that hard. This really is. I mean, mathematically, it's not hard to understand. Like I would like literally, if it was just math, like if he just didn't understand, I would have just have gotten out a piece of paper and just wrote it on a piece of paper and been like, this is why it doesn't make sense. Because it doesn't make sense mathematically.
The thing is, we're working on marriage, and he is totally fine being a sole provider in the future. And I was like, what's the problem with practicing a little give and ebb, like, now? And he was like, well, we're just boyfriend and girlfriend. And I was like, so that was kind of like a, ooh, Like, yeah, like I understand that boyfriend, girlfriend's not engaged, it's not married, but you're still my partner, you're my person.
I treated my wife exactly the same before our marriage. I mean, I viewed her the same. I wasn't like, oh, we're not married, I'm not gonna do that for her because that's my girlfriend. Like she was, you know what I'm saying? Like we were like sleeping together and living together for years. Like, what the fuck was the difference? Because we went to the courthouse and got a license. Like that's fucking crazy. That's crazy that like I don't believe him that he would be a provider. This is proof that he would actually financially abuse this woman. That's what this is proof of, right? The only way for him to be a provider is if she is in a position where she can't leave him or is less likely to leave him and he can control her financially. That's what he's waiting on.
So we'll come back to that when we come back to that. He asked me, he was like, what if situations were reversed? And I was like, I would absolutely do this for you. Also, to add on, he's been living rent-free for the last 2 years, getting a very substantial paycheck every month for the last 2 years. I know he has savings. I'm not asking him to dig into his savings. I'm not asking him to spend his whole life savings on us moving in together. But a little give, like, would be nice. So then it's more of like an even playing field for us. Is that selfish? Is it?
No, it's not selfish at all. And let me explain real quick. Like for the men, this is why what she's saying, like you have to understand what's going on here. First of all, she's not using him for his money, right? Now, they can handle this situation one of two ways, right? Way number one is to base everything on her income, right? Not his income, not their income together, just her. So essentially, if her rent is $1,500 a month, they can go, okay. She's like, well, I'll pay 1,000 and you pay 1,000. I can do that, right? You can do that. And he go, all right, cool. So now she's, that's a 30%, 33% decrease in her money. And he's still good because he makes twice as much money as her, let's say, right? So that's cool for him. Like, cool, 1,000 for me is easy for me. So he's still up in that case, and she's not hurting because we're doing it based on her income, right? Like we bought our house based on my wife's income, not based on my income and not based on our income combined. We bought it based on her income alone, right? So it's easy for me to pay because we base it on her income, right? Now, that's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it, which is kind of essentially the same way, but it's a different angle. The way that you do it is, well, actually it's different. It's not 50-50, right? What it is because men think 50-50 in this scenario is you pay half of the bills and I pay half of the bills. But if you make significantly more money than the woman, that doesn't work for her unless you base it on her income. Then you can go 50-50 on the bills because you base it on her income. But if you're including your income in it, it doesn't make sense and it's not fair to her for you to do that. So the way that it should work is you say, okay, how much of your money do you, whatever. It ain't 50-50. Let's go. I'm sorry. The real 50-50 is this. It's 50% of your income and 50% of my income. And we put that into a box. And okay. So essentially, she makes $3,000 a month, right? As a server. He makes $6,000 a month as a fucking pharmacy tech. Let's say, whatever. I don't know how much they make. So he makes double her money. Okay, cool. Her 60% of 3,000 is like $1,800 a month, right? His 60% of 6,000 is $3,600 a month, right? Cool. So they're both only spending 60% of their income. So it's fair. That's equity. That's equity, right? Then you put that money into a pot and you go, okay, that equals $5,400 a month. That's our nut. So we have to make our everything fit under that nut. That way we have savings and we have stuff. We have free money to still live and all of that stuff. So what's under the nut? And then you decide what goes under the nut. You go rent. You go you can include cars if you want to, but I wouldn't, in this because this is yours and his, right? It's separate. So unless he's paying for your car, which he's not, right? So it's like your car is your car, his car is his car. So it's the mutual shit that you share. So housing, food, utilities, upkeep, things of that nature. That that is what you do. You say $5,600. So you go, okay, so we got $2,500 for rent, right? You got $2,500 for rent. And then we got another now we got, and then what is that? $2,100 left. So everything else has to fall under that $2,100. So that's utilities, that's food, blah, 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 blah. And that's how you do it. Now she's not being stretched. You're not being stretched. You still retain 40% of your income. She retains 40% of her income. And now you guys are living a great fucking life. You're still living in a nice place. You got a car. You can go on vacations. She's not financially strained. You're not financially strained. That's 50-50. That's how 50-50 should work if we're just talking about finances. I have a whole other discussion on 50-50 when we talk about the breakdown in the home. That's not what I'm talking about. But financially, that is 50-50. If you already own a home and you're paying $5,000 a month for your mortgage and you make $250,000 a year and you meet a woman that makes $80,000 a year and you want her to come in and pay half the mortgage, that's disgusting. You're not, that's not cool. That's not cool. But you can say, okay, give me 50% of your income. You see what I'm saying? And I'll apply it to the bills and everything that I already got going. That's fair. Because if she was living alone, she was spending 70% on her shit. You see what I'm saying? So she's still saving money by living with you. That's fair. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you want to do, I wouldn't do that. But I'm saying if that's what you want to do, I think that's perfectly okay. And I think most women would be down for that. Like she is saying. So if you listen to women, they're very rational. They're very practical. It's men that are irrational. That whole like women are emotional and men are logical. Then explain that. Explain what just happened. That was he was being very emotional. That's where it was coming from. Like, well, let's go 50-50. That's an emotional response to that. Why are you not thinking about it rationally? Think about it logically. Think about it mathematically. And this is an example of how men make women's lives harder, not easier. She would not have to deal with this if she just stayed in her own apartment that she's been paying for